Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the CEO of Hemlane. How you doing, Dana?
I'm great. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you for being on the channel every other week. It is amazing. I love to see what's going on across the country. And this is a critical topic for Hemlane and the one rental at a time community. And that is, how can the little guy, a little girl, little landlord compete with the big boys? Because Wall Street's coming. Wall Street is buying entire neighborhoods, right? 150 unit single family home in Texas. They're doing it again. They've now found single family homes as the best value or risk adjusted return, to use Wall Street speak. So Dana, how can the little landlord compete with the big boys? What do you think? I think we have 5 ways we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and just to kind of preface it and start with where I'm coming from, I've seen this happen a lot, where Wall Street will buy an entire community of 100 rental homes in one area that were just built, and they have a vacancy rate of 100%. And so they basically need to get those filled as quickly as possible. And so they start offering these things like no money down, right? You don't have to pay a security fee. You don't have to, or security deposit, sorry. You don't have to pay your first month's rent. It's free. And you'll see these promos, and suddenly you're sitting there with a property, down the street somewhere else in the community, and a tenant comes into you and says, hey, they're offering this. Are you going to charge me a security deposit? And as a small time landlord, you don't have that same recourse, as well as portfolio to kind of spread the risk for that. And so you need to compete other ways. And here are the 5 things I would do to really sell yourself to the tenants. The first is just talking about fees in general. And these larger guys, typically what I see is they have ridiculously high pet fees, much higher than yours. So yours, might be $25 a month or whatever. Theirs can be much higher. They have a lot of move in, move out costs. You'll see with that, their terms of their lease agreements will say that. And then sometimes they'll just add on and tack on all these additional fees, like community fees that they'll add on there. Renewals as well. You'll see with renewals, they'll increase the price. They want to fill all the units right away, or all the homes right away. And then the next year, the rents go up significantly. And so really letting them know, hey, just as a heads up, I know they're offering 1 month free and all of this, but that's because they've got 100 houses to fill and they just don't want a vacancy rate. Have you considered what they're going to do to you in year 2 or year 3? Kind of planting that seed for them to realize that, which kind of goes to my next my next comment and point on it, that you have that higher level of service. There's a sense of ownership from management, and you have that higher service that they won't have. They're going to kind of have someone there who's 9 to 5, doesn't care as much about the asset and making you feel like the customer. And that's going to be really important to differentiate. You probably have some comments on that too, Michael.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things I want to throw out there. First and foremost, don't ever discount what you have just because someone else does. Again, like you're saying, sell yourself for what you are, right? I would tell the tenant, I'm not interested in renting to someone that's the thing that they're going to go after, is no deposit. Because you're running a business, it's your unit. You will happily wait for the right tenant. And yeah, talk about the future. And again, you're going to get me. You're not going to get some empty suit kind of managing the unit. So definitely talk all of that. But the big thing when I see landlords compete with the big boys is, first and foremost, if you're doing the work, as I call it, understand what they're buying, what they're renting, and then fish outside that, right? If they're only renting 3 and 4 bedroom, 2 baths, new builds, well, great. I'm going to go buy some old 2 bedrooms because they're not doing that. I'm going to go buy some 5 bedrooms because they're not doing that. One of the things about the big boys you need to understand is Wall Street's just like any other, they're human beings. They don't want to be fired. How do you not get fired in Wall Street? You stay inside the buy box. You don't do anything creative. Because if you do something creative or outside the buy box, like buy a 2 bedroom and then it doesn't go well, you get fired and you lose your 6-figure job. They are incredible at staying in their lane. So figure out their lane and do everything else. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Yeah. And that brings my point of originality with the home, right? Like a lot of times with these institutionals, it's very cookie cutter.
Oh yeah.
And
It's like, that's the same. That's the same. That's the same.
exactly. And you can actually make things much more creative and in still a way that's like, I mean, you're not going to paint the entire house orange inside and expect that tenants will like that originality.
That's not good.
But you can have quirks and stuff to make it feel like home again for tenants. Because at the end of the day, everyone has some sort of personality. And a lot of times the cookie cutter of like, hey, I walked into my neighbor's house, it looks exactly the same from the outside and inside, doesn't really work with tenants. They do want some more of that creativity to make it feel like theirs because it's their home. And you can really sell them on that, which also is like one other point I have related to that. My final one is the ability to kind of make exceptions. So for example, your place is original, but if a tenant is like, hey, can I change light fixture? Right? I really want this other one. And you have like a really terrible light fixture and they're going to pay for it. You're obviously going to have a process in place to make sure that it's installed correctly, but they're upgrading to make it a much nicer one and said it can stay with the house. That's something that if you're an institutional, they won't make exceptions. They're like, nope, this is exactly how it is. And for you, you can tell the tenant like, yeah, of course I have a process to approve it, but like, I'd be more than happy for you to make this feel like your home, as long as that fixture stays with the property when you move out and I can approve it. Yeah. And that type of thing, one, will keep your customers, your tenants for longer. It makes them feel happy because it's more like their home and you just got a new upgrade.
Yeah. And then the last thing I'll kind of round this out with is don't assume that Wall Street or the big boys are good at what they're doing. Go back and look at what Zillow did with their flipping business. The big boys make mistakes all the time. Do the work, know your numbers, only do good or great deals. And if Wall Street's coming in and they're just paying more than you, let them. Because if you've done the work, they're doing bad deals. You may see that come back and bite them, a la Zillow exiting the market. Don't assume. I see too many people assume that Wall Street is smarter than them. In most cases, Wall Street has not done the work. Wall Street is this big Uber mob that has more money than time, and they're trying to place their bets. You do your work in your buy box and you can beat them. Don't be afraid. So that's what I would tell them.
Agree. I love it.
Very cool, Dana. Well, how can people find you and get this wonderful 30-day trial? Because more new landlords need to practice.
Yeah, so our property management is at www.hemlane.com. We have a 30-day free trial. So just sign up, try it for free. Everything from advertising your rental to 30 rental listing websites to submitting and tracking repair requests and rent collection. And then mention one rental at a time. So if you do decide to continue on, you get 20% off that first year.
That's cool. Thanks, Dana. Thanks for doing that for us.
Great. Thanks.